What's going on, guys? Roger here, QVO Tactical. Today we are shooting something new from Springfield that has just launched. It is their new St. Victor. This one happens to be the AR-10 variant, so it's chambered in 308. We got a 16-inch setup, and today I am out testing different grains of 308 ammunition. For those of you who have been longtime followers, you guys know that I've had a never-ending battle with 308 and the hunt for accuracy. So on this 16-inch setup, I have configured it in an SPR configuration. I got a EOTech 5-25 on it and a Rex Selenium can. And I figured, let's test some different grains. So we're going to start off with some Gold Dot Duty ammunition. This is 308, 168 grain. And yeah, I got 5 rounds loaded up. I've already gotten this thing dialed in as far as getting a 0, but now we're going to shoot different groups. You guys are going to be seeing it through the spotting scope, and yeah, let's see how this thing does. All right, let's go for the first group. Like I said, we got the phone hooked up to the spotting scope. It is a little windy today, guys. Of course it is, because we need to shoot, you know, groups at 100 yards. But so I apologize for the jitteriness with the spotting scope footage, but I do want you guys to see the hits as they happen. So here we go. I'm going to shoot the top left, Marco.
Yep, on target.
All right, let's go take a look. All right, guys, down here at the target now. This was my first shot, and I don't know what happened. These are all looking good to me, especially these two touching. But furthest to furthest with that guy, included my flyer. We are at 3 1/4 inch group. And then without the flyer, we would be at, it's like 2 7/8. So almost a full inch. Smaller of a group had I not had my flyer. But first group, we're gonna shoot the next one. You know, what is it, 3 1/4 I said? So a little over a 3-inch group at 100 yards with a 16-inch 308. It is a 1 in 10 twist, and it is a single stage trigger. It's not heavy, but it's not light. I would prefer a 2-stage, and I'm sure the 16-inch configuration, their mindset was more of like a battle rifle with a red dot and stuff. But for being AR-10 308, to me, I want to set that up as a fixed position type gun. It's just being a heavier gun, being a heavier caliber, to me, that's what I would probably use it for. So when I get these guns in, guys, I set them up for how I would use them. So, but I mean, at the same time, if you think about it, would you hit the head at 100 yards with that setup? Yeah. You think we're gonna get better or worse groups with the other ammo?
Better.
We did shoot this with the Gold Dot, guys, and I wanted to go with Gold Dot first because, you know, the gold standard. But I've never shot Gold Dot 308, so I didn't even know they made a 308, to be honest.
Yeah, I usually use the 223 stuff, but not
So.
308. So.
But yeah, we'll grab, I think I'm pretty sure I have another 168 brand, but I feel like I have some 175 too, so maybe we'll jump up to 175 for this next guy. Now, guys, before we jump into the next group, I always want to make sure I get you full transparency on how we go about getting products here on the channel for review. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know that we've worked with the Springfield team for a number of years, and with this recent launch of the new St. Victor lineup, they reached out and said, hey, can we send you one out to do a video on? So I definitely wanted to check these out, and I'm glad they sent me the 308. I don't have a lot of AR-10s, I only have a couple of them. So this was sent to us by the team over at Springfield, free of charge, guys. Keep that in mind as you watch the video. And yeah, but it's still gonna get my, you know, fair, unbiased opinion, and I'm hoping I can get some better groups than that first one as we progress. But let's jump into the second group. For the second group, guys, we are going to shoot the Norma match grade 175 grain. So this is their 308 golden target, and yeah, we'll see if it does better than the Gold Dot. Here we go. Ready, Marco?
Yep.
I'm gonna shoot the top right.
Got it, on target.
All right, let's go take a look. So guys, for the Norma golden target match, Marco kind of noticed similar pattern. It's a little tighter, but look, first shot and then up and right. So kind of the same thing here. These guys here though, Furthest to furthest happens to be these rounds, and we are at a 2-inch group. So we came down 1 full inch. I want to say, yeah, that's gonna be the furthest. So center to center, we got a 2-inch group there with the Norma Match 175. I know you don't do a lot of 308, Marco, but from your experience though in the industry,
Yep.
1 in 10 twist on a 308.
Actually, not sure. I don't really shoot 308 much.
I remember when we were shooting some other 308s, I would hear people in the or I'd read in the comment section, people were saying, you know, they weren't sure about the twist rate. So for you guys out there that shoot AR-10s or 308 caliber a lot, your opinions on a 1 in 10 twist, let me know down below. I'm curious to learn and be educated on that. But again, like this was actually, I mean, it's a line breaker, so everything here was in the 8 ring, and your 8 ring on this little guy is 3.5 inches. So we're talking, this isn't a precision gun. The gun, I want to say, is sub 1,700 bucks.
Yeah.
So, you know, with ammo that I went to Ventura, and I was like, hey, I want to pick up, you know, some of the higher tier production ammo, like the stuff that's just on the shelf, and these are the results we're getting. So grand scheme of things, yeah, I'm happy with a 2-inch group. Do I want it tighter? Of course, we all want to have, you know, bullet hole through bullet hole through bullet hole. But I'm hoping we get, like, I'll be happy if we get sub 2. But right now, we're right at 2-inch, a 2-inch group at 100 with a 308. Next up, guys, one of my favorites, S&B, their hollow point boat tail, 168 grain. I have had good results with this from when I did my PSA M110A1 video. So, Marco, I'll shoot the bottom left.
Got it. On target.
Here we go. All right, let's go take a look. Now for the S&B, I'm definitely liking this, guys, but again, look, first round low left and then up and makes a triangle. Clearly that's me. It is kind of crazy that it's literally like,
it's the same thing.
yeah.
Same friend.
So if you talk about the flyer here, we go center to center. It is 2 1/4 inch, just below 2 1/4 inch. Without that though, we are at 1 3/4 inch group. So, I mean, with the flyer, this still beats it, but without the flyer, this is a tighter group here. So, and again, I mean, 2 inches, you're within that 8 ring. Hell, 2 inches, you're within the 9 ring there. So, you'd be hitting, you know, if you were aiming for the head box, you'd be within that, you know, ocular nasal cavity A zone. So, the gun's definitely performing. I mean, I don't want to have unrealistic expectations and think it's going to perform like a $4,000, $5,000 bolt gun, because it's not that. But for, you know,
Patrol rifle, 16-inch.
yeah, MSRP I want to say is like $1,679, so I'm sure you'll see it, you know, in stores at like $1,450, $1,500 would be my guess, guys. And again, with it being, you know, a nickel boron mil-spec GI trigger, it's not like a super light trigger. It's not the heaviest, but it's just a normal trigger, and being single stage, obviously. I think the intended purpose would be for, like he's saying, patrol stuff, like a red dot gun, maybe.
Yeah, red dot magnifier combo, flashlight on it. Yeah.
And I will say for AR-10 308s, like we'll look at the weight when we do the final thoughts. It's not as heavy as like other AR-10s I have, but for me, just when if I think patrol rifle or stuff that I'm going to be like, you know, perimeter stuff, or if I was in a black and white again patrol, I'm taking AR-223 and AR-15. But I definitely see, you know, there are some reasons you'd want, you know, a heavier caliber. But I'm gonna shoot my last group here, and I think the last one we have might be Federal 175, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Last but certainly not least, guys, we have the Federal Premium Gold Medal Sierra Match King from Federal. So it's 175 grain 308. We should probably call this the gold standard, being a Sierra Match King bullet, because I want to say I've had good success with those as well. So I'm hoping this will be our best group. I'm gonna shoot the bottom right, Marco. Ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. All right, let's go take a look. So Marco, I'm noticing what we would call a pattern.
Clues.
First round always has a shift, guys. And I know people in the comments right now, they're like, oh, Roger, it's you. It's, what, shooting on that bipod or shooting, whatever excuse. But guys, this is consistent. I don't think I could do this if I purposely tried to do the first one off and then the group. So I started doing a little bit of research, and a couple guys in some forums were talking about how they've noticed when they suppress any of their like SPR configurations, they have a shift with the first round, and then the rest of it is grouped. And so, I know a lot of people talk about the first round pop where the air gets in the suppressor and it comes out off that first round. So I think with us walking all the way up to 100, the gun sitting downwind, going back in, it's probably causing something like that. So in order for us to test it, I'm gonna shoot a couple groups after this, unsuppressed, and see how we do. But even with that, guys, you're still, this is all still within the 8 ring. We're talking 3.5 inch, but for this group, including, the first round flyer, you got 2 1/4 from the furthest center to center. Now, very happy with this, and we're talking, that's 1.5 inch group. And you can kind of see, it is kind of cool to interesting to see these two, which I believe these were the 168s. So the 168s shot a similar pattern.
Yeah.
The 175s shot a similar pattern.
Similar group, yeah.
So I do like consistency. I am happy with this because, if I was set up in a position where, hey, I got to take a headshot, I know that, hey, this is within this. We said 2 1/4. This alpha head box is 3 inches. So, but it was kind of baffling to Marco and I both as we're walking up, this and this, okay, maybe me. Third one, what's going on? Fourth one, definitely a combination of the suppressor and rifle I'm using. So I do have it on a taper mount, so I'm just gonna take the can off real quick, QD it off, and then we'll come up and put some new pasters on, and I'll shoot another group and see how it does unsuppressed. But even suppressed, I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy with that. So I would say this was the Federal Sierra Match King, and then this was the S&B.
Yep.
So I'm kind of doing this for you guys also out there. If you're somebody who watches our reviews, and I appreciate it, and you actually do make purchases based on, the results that we get here on the range, if you get this gun, you're going to go, okay, if you're not getting a similar group or better, then you should be with this setup or something's wrong. So, but I am curious. Like I said, I'm going to take the suppressor off. We'll shoot another group and see how it looks. Okay, guys, so this is the Rexilenium 308 can, and I put on an Atlas mount from Reardon. So you guys see, you can just, boom. It's got taper threads, which is nice, so the threads don't get all coated up. Your carbon stays all up there. And then I have one of their flash hider muzzle devices on there. Makes it super easy to take off. I can equip this style of muzzle device, and they have comps. This one's a flash hider, but they have a bunch of different ones. And now I can use the suppressor on any of those guns just because it'll thread on. So, but like I said, let's shoot some groups now, unsuppressed, and see if we get that same shift. Now, guys, since we had the best results with the S&B and the Federal Sierra Match King, I figured let's just shoot 2 more groups with those so I don't bore you guys to death. So first up is going to be the Hollow Point Boat Tail 168 from S&B. Marco, I'll shoot the top left.
Got it.
All right, let's go take a look. Down here at the target now, guys, and it looks like a better group to me, but when you measure it out with this flyer, this is actually, I want to say 2.5 inches. Yeah, so center to center is 2.5 there. Is it same for this guy? Yeah, 2.5 from these two here. So obviously we have a point of impact shift being unsuppressed, but comparing it to its suppressed group, even with the flyer, guys, we were at 2 1/4 inch group, or just under 2 1/4. So it's about 1/4 inch larger of a group. You don't have, the major 1 round deviation, but the group was overall tighter suppressed. So that's interesting to see. Everything felt good. I will say definitely using just a flash hider, I did notice more recoil if I was going to shoot it unsuppressed. It comes with the flash hider, so it wasn't really a difference from taking off their flash hider to putting on the Reardon one, but I would probably switch it out to a Reardon muzzle brake if I was going to shoot it unsuppressed. So I think we'll try the Sierra Match King here unsuppressed and see if we get better results than down here. But interesting to see that the group was more consistent,
yep,
but it was a 1/4 inch larger here. And again, the other variable being me, the shooter. So I will say this, like, as we've been shooting groups over the years, I used to think like, hey, I gotta get way better at this, but I've noticed like there's guns where I'm putting hole through hole through hole. So I definitely think that I've gotten better with shooting groups, and I'll say that, for this I'm shooting consistently. With those 4 groups, the fact that we did the same group tells me that, hey, it's the gun suppressor round combo and not me jerking that first round every time. So happy to see that. Last group, guys, Federal Premium Gold Medal Sierra Match King, 175 grain. Let's see if we do the best group here, unsuppressed. Top right, Marco.
got it on target.
Of course, I had to have one. Man, they were almost all good. All right, let's go look. Well, even though we have this guy, we definitely got the best results unsuppressed with the 175 Sierra Match King. I was just telling Marco, it's like, I think back to when I first started shooting, how I'd be like, oh my gosh, Marco, check this out, it's so good. Versus now, as you know, I've been shooting for a number of years, I can definitely tell, like, dang it, I threw that one. But even with this thrown round, guys, like, we're talking, that's 1 and 1.5, a little past 1.5, almost 1 3/4. But then this, for this center to center, is a 1 3/4 inch group. So if I go here with the group that was actually correct, I got 1 1/4 inch group. So I only threw this round 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
Which I know for some people that's like, oh, that's unacceptable. But for me, on a production AR-10, that's awesome.
Yeah, not bad.
You know what I mean? So we're talking, what was it, 1 and 3/4 inch group gives me, that's 1.5. Yeah, so way within the 9 ring. And if you were looking at the eyes in a head box, 1 3/4 would be right there. So you're talking right there. Closer than the spacing of somebody's eyes is what I was able to put this group in with, a production line AR-10. So definitely happy with that. I will say with that suppressor combo, I was reading in those forums about how they said the older tech and suppressor. So I'm wondering, pretty sure Rex Selenium is probably just a standard baffle stack versus all the new Incandel 3D printed flow type stuff. Yep. So I would be curious if I threw on a different can. I mean, obviously we probably have different results with a different type of baffles or however they're suppressing the sound. But I'm happy with the results. I would still probably suppress it, I will say, or I would put a muzzle device on it, because when you're prone out on the 308, there's nothing really there to absorb all of that coming back. And I do feel it way more in my shoulder than when I shot it suppressed. But, I just wish it was just that. Why couldn't this guy be right there? So, but those are the results, guys. Like, we don't sugarcoat anything, and you guys saw it as it happened. I wanted to do this that way you guys could, have realistic expectations with this setup. And then at the same time, Marco, with you shooting more on the higher end stuff, like, yeah, you definitely know, like, this is reasonable. I think a lot of people get unrealistic expectations when they're like, because they're not used to spending, plus $1,000 on a rifle.
That's like, we consider it entry level.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's kind of below entry level when you're getting into like what we're doing with it. And granted, at the same time, guys, that's probably not what this is intended for. If it was intended to be a precision gas gun or a gun you want to use those matches, it's definitely capable of doing it, but you definitely want to change that trigger.
Yeah. And
a couple other things that we'll go over in the final thoughts. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I will say, I'm getting way better 308 results as I shoot more and more of them. I do want to come back out with my SOCOM 16. Yeah. And
see where that goes.
Yeah, because I did not have good results with it the first time I tried it. But I was using like Igman, like.
Oh, the 147 range blaster ammo.
So. Yeah. All right, let's go check out the rifle and go over it. Now, before Marco and I jump into final thoughts, guys, I kind of want to just give a breakdown of everything, how the rifle comes configured. So this particular one, there are several variants of the St. Victor coming out, but we have the AR-10 in a Coyote Brown. When I first opened it, I thought it was like a raw 8000, dude. I was like, oh, dang. But Coyote Brown is the color. I do like the color. I like the two-tone look. It will come with their own 4-prong flash hider, 16-inch barrel, 1 in 10 twist, monolite coating. It's a taper profile. I mean, we were shooting suppressed. I didn't notice anything heat up. So the gun weighs, I think, a little over 7 pounds. So, I mean, you could definitely throw a red dot on this and use it like, you know, for just run and gun stuff or just red dot stuff. I would definitely change the muzzle device, though, to a brake. With a flash hider on this 308, it is a significant kick in my opinion. So I'd switch it out to a muzzle device, muzzle brake versus a flash hider, or run it suppressed. I do like that they built in these QD points for your sling setup. It's going to come with this B5 grip, the B5 systems, and the B5 stock here, so you'll be able to run 2-point easily. I like the 45 selector. They're using, I don't know if it's their own or somebody else's, but I like 45. Feels nice. They did get a Radian Raptor LT. It's got, you know, it's lasered Springfield, but that is the Radian Raptor charging handle. It's going to come with flip-up sights. I took the rear off, obviously, to get this EOTech Voodoo 5-25, one of my favorites, because without the scope shade, guys, this thing is tiny.
It's cute.
It's awesome for a
Real
5-25, dude.
Yeah, it's real cute.
Right? So it's one of my favorite ones to use, and I like to use more magnification when I am shooting, you know, higher calibers than the 223. So I'll have a 15-inch length handguard, guys, because it's going to come all the way up there. It kind of mates up nicely when you suppress it. It kind of leaves, you know, very little room to be exposed, which is a very nice aesthetic. I do like when companies take the handguard and have some type of anti-rotation set in. So the handguard will come just past your upper receiver. That way, you know, your rail's not moving at all on you. Trigger, the nickel boron, standard mil-spec GI trigger. Nothing special, nothing fancy. And I don't blame him on that, because, I mean, everybody, like, you love the Hyperfire. I love two-stage Geisley stuff. So, you know, it kind of just says, like, hey, let's put that in there, let them change it out, keep the cost down. Yep. So, speaking of cost, I want to say, I think MSRP listed in the media download was $16.79. So, I want to say from my experience, I think that typically means it'll probably be on the market for $100, $150 less.
Usually, yeah.
Usually. So, don't quote me on that, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're seeing these for $1,450 to $1,500, which, again, in my opinion, for this done up that way, I think is a great, you know, base setup for if you're somebody that's like, hey, you're a bigger dude, or you just want to rock 308 instead of 223 for an AR-15. You know, would you change the trigger out to Hyperfire, put a muzzle brake on it, red dot? Would you run it for?
Yeah, I'd run it a match
gun?
like all day. Red dot, Hyperfire, unravel the muzzle brake, run it like that with a drum mag, ideally. D50, mag full D50, of course.
Speaking of mags,
yeah.
I think we should have some more of these coming in stock, guys. Yeah. These are our Duramag laser Tiger Stripe magazines. So Duramag makes these in stainless steel, and because they do, I can use a MOPA laser. And what you're seeing on this magazine is I'm actually changing the color of the metal with the laser. So it's not painted, it's not Cerakoted, that's actually lasered in, and it's permanent, and it gives you this really cool aesthetic. Nothing else. There's nothing else about it other than that it just looks cool. So if you are not into that, don't even bother. But if you're looking for one of those, qvotactical.com. But yeah, Springfield, I appreciate you guys sending me this. I'm happy with the results that I got. It's on the better end of 308 precision stuff that I've shot. I'm sure you guys wanted me to shoot this in a more red dot configuration, but you guys, you know, we've been working together for a long time, and I set the guns up for like how I would practically use them, and that's what I would use this setup for. And it's minor changes. We're talking about, I'd leave it suppressed, and I would just change the trigger for me. You were thinking probably put a different buffer in?
Probably mess with the buffer system, see if you can knock off more recoil. The muzzle brake does more work, though, in my opinion. But I'd definitely play with it just to see.
Muzzle brake is nice and it'd be flat, but for me, like, I'm not shooting matches. I would be wanting to use this discreetly. I'd want it suppressed.
Yeah.
So, but suppressed was fine as far as recoil. Like, it was more than manageable. I didn't really have it. I will say, like, maybe it's because I was shooting it suppressed, and then I went to unsuppressed with just a flash hider, and I noticed a significant difference. So, but yeah, guys, like, this suppressed configuration set up like this, for me right now, I'd probably just change out the trigger. I might try a different can to see if it eliminates that first round shift issue I was having. Anybody, you know, that shoots and can comment on that, please let me know. If your comment is you just suck, well, obviously. I'm sure a lot of the comments lately have just been from people that aren't subscribed, or you guys come in like, I could do so much better with my PSA, this and that. Maybe you can, but I would love for you to respond with a video showing it instead of just commenting from, you know, an account that has never posted anything. So, but hey, I like it, guys. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. When I first got it, I did think it was shorter. Like, it's weird to me how rifles are looking shorter and shorter.
It does.
Because I was like, that's 16? Holy cow.
Yeah.
So I was like, is that a 14.5? Is that a 12.5? What's going on? So I will say this. I do like it better than the first 308 Springfield sent me, which was that, like, I think it was like a 12.5 St. Victor pistol in 308 with an SBA3 brace. Like, not enough barrel. Way too, a thing, I mean, dude, everybody's shoulder was hurting that day. So, yes, 100%. I like this much better. So, Marco, appreciate you coming out, dude. You guys that get this, let me know, you know, what 308 are you running? You guys that are hand loading, are you seeing much better results with your gas guns and 308 AR-10 platform? When you guys, I mean, I would assure that dudes that takes hand loading seriously are probably getting way better results.
Yeah, the nerds. Those guys are smart with that.
Yeah, that's John, dude. John, our business partner. He's into all that stuff. But anyway, I'll stop yapping now. Springfield, thank you for sending the gun. Chad, Stephanie, Alex, appreciate you guys. Hopefully we see you at SHOT Show in a couple months. But yeah, appreciate it. Guys, thank you for watching. There's probably going to be a bunch of other creators that are dropping different variants of the St. Victor today. So if you are interested in this lineup and maybe you want to see the 223 or the black version or something different or a pistol variant, I'm sure there's going to be other creators that are posting those today. So definitely check out their videos. As always, appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next one.